hope you can see me. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this week's video. I've been gone for 2 weeks, and yes, I've been counting because I wanted to shoot this video last week, and last week I was in Pretoria, so I couldn't shoot. So it's been ringing in my mind because I need to shoot this video. The background, I know this is fake, but it feels a little warmer for some reason because of this. My mind is playing tricks on me, so I thought I'd try out this new background. I painted this wall yesterday, and I've got a guy coming to mount this TV, so hopefully I'll be done by the time he gets here. He just sent me a message that he's on his way. I'm drinking water today because it's hot. I just wanted to update you guys about my trip to Mozambique. It's been 2 weeks now, and yeah, I've had time to kind of process everything. I'll just start off where I left off in the last video. So basically it was the day before on that last video, and I was preparing, packing, and no, it was not day before. Was it day before? No, it was not. Oh yes, it was. Actually, it was day before. So I was very hyper aware of the fact that we're leaving early the next day. So I spoke to the organizer, like the guy who's organizing the trip, and he said they're gonna leave Joburg at midnight or something like that. And then Joburg to here is less than 2 hours. So it's like, okay, maybe by 2 o'clock they're gonna be here. So I was hyper aware of that, and that made me more anxious. So I was like, I don't want them to leave me. I don't want to be late. I doubt they were gonna leave me, but I don't want to be late and be an inconvenience. So I went to bed at like 10, half 10, and I barely slept because my mind was like racing, and the nerves were just like peaking. So I woke up at like 1, I think. I woke up at 1. Yeah, and then I asked the guy if they had left Joburg, and he said not yet, they were waiting for someone, right? Like, cool, it gives me enough time to prepare and stuff. So at 1 I took a shower, and by like 1 to 2 I was already done, right? Oh, it's so hot. I was already done. So to cut the long story short, they got here at 4 o'clock, right? Which I did not mind at all. They got here at 4. I tried to call an Uber because I had asked someone to come like help me with driving to the mall because they were gonna pick me up at the mall, and then that fell through. So I had to try to get an Uber. The Uber cancelled because I was a new member and I had a discount, and he didn't want to take my trip because I had a discount. I was like, what the hell? So I was like, okay, fine, that's it, I'm just gonna drive. So I drove to the mall. Before I stayed here, I used to stay at a flat like right opposite the mall. So I drove to that flat and bargained with the fact that the security is not going to ask me what's happening or for exen. They're probably just going to sleep. They're just going to open the boom gate and let me in. And that's what happened. So I just drove in, parked my car, and then asked them to pick me up at the flats. Cool. So we left. Oh, number 1. I was expecting like an H1 or a V-Class or something, like comfortable, because I knew it was going to be a long drive. Guys, something a Quantum Mozambique. I was like, if the Quantum was comfortable and like a luxury Quantum, I don't know how I wouldn't have minded, but it was uncomfortable as hell. And when I got there, everybody was sleeping, everybody had blankets. I didn't bring a blanket because I thought it was about umthwalo, but I needed one because I was cold the whole time. And people were sleeping. I barely found space to sit because some were just like lying across the seats. Like, it was just weird. Like, my first introduction to this trip was just weird and awkward. I got there, people are sleeping. I'm trying to find a seat. Like, I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be a long drive. It's cold, like, because it was the 1st of September, but like, it wasn't really warm at the time. Okay, we hit the road, we go. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sleep. I had like a, what do you call this? I see, Inge. I don't know how to explain it, but I had that thing that you put over your shawl, but you know those thick blankety ones. Don't mind my nails, they're chipping, they're just breaking, they everything. So yeah, I had that, so at least I could cover my face and sleep, and like, you know, but I was cold. So by like 7 o'clock, I think we were at like Nelspruit. 7:30 we were in Nelspruit. We got to Nelspruit. We picked up another girl, and yeah. And when everybody was awake, that's when I started to feel like, yeah, I'm really here alone, because people were with their friends. This one girl I was sitting next to was with her boyfriend. Like, it was really like, yo, like, you're really doing this alone. And I put up a brave face. I was like, okay, it's fine. Like, everybody here seems chilled. It's just that really when you're with a friend, like, you're not gonna pay attention to the girl that's there alone, you know. Like, okay, everybody seems chilled. Like, I was already making conversation with the girl next to me. Like, you know, it was okay. But it was like, And then I started to notice that there were also other solo travelers. I think we were only 3 solo travelers, and everybody else was with their friends, or loved one, whatever. So we get to Nelspruit and we chilled there for about 2 hours. I don't know why we were there for that long, honestly. But it was the last stop, I think, before the border, and people needed to print all these kids needed to print their certificates, their COVID certificates, like vaccination certificates, anything else that you needed to print. That was the last stop to do so. We bought breakfast. I also bought a beach towel because I didn't have one. So the stop was necessary, but 2 hours wasn't necessary. And then we were off. So I think we were in Malelane, right? From Malelane to the border gate was about an hour, I think. So we drove to the border gate, got there, and yeah, we began the long process of crossing the border, which was going to this place and getting a stamp here, and going to that place and getting a stamp there, and going to that place, and like, it was just tedious, but I guess it's necessary. I've never crossed the border, so I didn't know it was that much of a process. And for someone who doesn't know what to do, it's just like, where am I going now? Is there something next that I need to do? Like, it was just a lot. But yeah, we did all of that, and then that took about 1.5 hours, I think. By the time we crossed the border, it was like something to 12 or to 1. I can't remember. I actually can't remember. Some memories are foggy. But we did cross the border. I think it was a 1, man. Yeah, I think it was 1. We finished like 12 to 1. So we began the longest drive of my life. First of all, they didn't tell us that the trip was going to be that long. I guess if they did, then we wouldn't have like chosen to go on the trip. So first of all, when we crossed the border, right, we were done with everything. We were on the taxi, and people were buying SIM cards for data and whatnot. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I trusted Vodacom. I trusted Vodacom with my life, but also they said there was Wi-Fi at the restaurant, so I thought, you know, that we should be fine. So I after we cross the border, everybody's done buying some cards. I see a boat, you know those lama boat that tell you how many more kilometers to go to a certain destination. I see a boat that says it's 330 something kilometers to Shai Shai, which was where we were going. And I'm like, but I'm like, okay, it's currently 1 o'clock now. We're probably gonna get there at like 5. Boy, did I lie to myself. Like, and we're sitting there, not the driver, not the host telling us how long the drive is gonna be. And because it can't time in a speed limit, you can't like drive on 160 or 140 to make the journey a bit faster. We drive through the driest parts of Mozambique. We drive through the smallest parts of Mozambique, through the like weirdest parts. We are driving, I'm telling you, like, I slept and woke up and spoke to the girl next to me and slept and woke up, and Lapo I've got no network. In network, like the first 10 minutes in Mozambique, I have no network. I'm bored as hell. I'm annoyed. Like, it's hot. Like, I'm everything at this point. I'm just like, yo, this quantum is uncomfortable. Like, now I finally have a seat, but it's so uncomfortable. Like, it doesn't even feel like it. Hi, well, we are driving and the host is trying to play music, but the speaker Sally Quantum keeps doing weird things, so we have to switch off the music and turn down the volume and do this. Like, it was just a lot, guys. Like, that drive, I was like, yeah, oh my goodness, Langa. So it just, like, that drive just took out all the excitement in me and just really like emphasized the fact that I was alone on that trip, because I don't think if I was with someone else in Mazio, like a partner, I would have felt that bad, right? But okay, we drive. Eventually we got there at 8, guys. I think just before 8 or just after 8 we got there. It was dark. Like, we had to drive through this winding dirt road. I'm just closing my eyes because I don't want to see anything, because I'm just like, I just need to get there with my sanity in check. That's all I wanted at that point. So we get to the resort. I look at the window, I'm like, this is not what I expected. But I was like, okay, it's dark, like I can't really see the full extent of the resort. So we get there, okay, it's sand everywhere, and then they tell us that we need to get in the back of a tractor to get to the house. And I'm just like, what kind of a I was just like, no, you're gonna be kidding me. Like, are you for real? But he was dead serious, and he did explain, Ugusi, because there's sand everywhere, you can't walk. You can walk, but it's a bit difficult, which I got to see in the 2 days that we spent there. So it made sense, but also it was just like, this is not what I had in mind, you know. And after a long drive, like getting on a tractor like cows, we were literally stacked in the back of a tractor like cows. Like, it was just not what I had envisioned. But fine, we get on, because what else can you do? Before we got on the tractor, before we got out the quantum, yeah, the host is like, okay, let's allocate rooms. That house was a 1, 2, 3, 4 bedroom house with a loft. So he allocates, like, gives all the people, like the couples, their rooms, and then he's like, to the 3 solo travelers, you'll be sleeping in the loft. And when he says loft, I'm like, oh, sounds, you know, fancy, you know. I don't know what I expected, but I did not expect what we were sleeping in. And I wish I had a video or a picture, because that was horrible, you guys. Like, that was horrible. Anyway, so now we're in the back of the tractor, like, we're laughing and stuff, but deep down I'm like, I at that point I had already started like regretting being there. I don't know if it was like exhaustion and like but I was just like, we drive to the house, we get to the house, and the house is filthy. It's dirty, there's sand everywhere, there's like stacks of chairs. Like, it's ngathi akaze kuhlale umuntu in a long time. There were probably cobwebs like it was dirty. I'm like, at that point I was like, yeah, I'm definitely regretting this. And that was before I saw the room. So everybody's going to their rooms, and some people had like, because it was, I'll put up a video, but it was like seafront, oceanfront, like ocean views. So people had ocean views, you know, right from their bedrooms, and we had the dreadful loft. Like, mine is a dreadful. It was literally ngaphezulu, there's 4 single beds. It looked like right? And what annoyed me the most is that we all paid the same amount of money, but some people got to sleep with double bed with oceanfront views. Guys, please don't mind the Lezingan. I can't chase them away. I hope I'm audible enough because it will drown their noise. So I'm just like, this is unfair, and this is not nice, and this is uncomfortable. And the other girl that we were sleeping with, pointed out, like, I'm a droppings, like animal droppings. See, some droppings. And I'm like, this can't be happening. It was horrible. Like, it was horrible. So, like, I was very unhappy. And I'm an understanding person, Shamina. Like, Simungas understand. But that was horrible. So they're like, okay, let's go eat. I'm like, okay, shop. I'm gonna get connected to Wi-Fi. Gonna update my family. Shop. We go to the restaurant. Yeah, now we're sitting, and now everybody's making conversation, and I hate small talk with everything in me. Like, I generally don't like people. Like, I don't like people. So, and yeah, like I said, I'm never putting myself in these positions again, but sometimes these positions come to you, and when we're at the table, like, this guy's here, I'm gonna continue at some point. Yeah. As you guys can see, Ufile Bude, who mounted the TV, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the height. I'm stressed. I'm actually stressed out, which is why I've resorted to wine. I am stressed the F out. I mean, I'm glad I did it, but like, TV. I wanted it to be at least here, but now another problem is there's already 2 holes up there that I didn't like fill in and paint over, so I need to cover that. But now I don't know, bruh. I feel like at some point I'm just gonna take it down, cover the holes, paint over them, and just leave it here. I feel like here was fine, hey? Like, I don't know, I'll give it a week and then I'll decide. And also, these wires are driving me crazy, okay? Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure where I left off. Well, I think I left off when we were at the restaurant, right? Oh, by the way, I couldn't even connect to Wi-Fi because my battery was dead from all the traveling, and I left it and needed to charge. So I went to the restaurant with no phone just to get food, and I wasn't even that hungry, to be honest with you, but I felt like I should be there. Then, yeah, like I said, yeah, I think I did go over the part where I said I hate small talk, but I felt like I had to engage and had to participate because I was already there and everybody was talking and you know. Did I mention that I was on my period? I started my period like 2 days before the trip. So on the day that we arrived in Mozambique, I was still on my period, but I was hopeful to go to Zopila the next day because my periods are like 3 days. So I'm sitting there, I wanted to shower, I'm sweaty, I'm annoyed, I'm lonely, I'm just like, yo, what is going on? Then I order a burger, right, which takes another hour to arrive. And then I'm just like, yeah, fucking, yo, it took an hour, literally an hour and some change for the burger to arrive. And then I was like, put it on takeaway, I'm going straight to the house. Did I not get lost? Because it was dark outside, like it was dark. There's no lights. The house was close, but like getting to the house was a mission. So I got lost and I had to turn back to the restaurant, sit there for another, like I said, I'm not happy about the TV, but yeah. So just to cut the long story short, because I don't have storage, yeah, the 2 days were fine. I mean, I managed to find a group of girls that I connected with who were on the same wavelength as me, had the same type of personality, and I was grateful for that because they made the trip better than what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I'll try and put up like pictures and stuff, and then also go to my Instagram if you want to see more content. Yeah, I mean, when you put a group of people together, there's bound to be, you know, a little bit of friction, which there was, but nothing out of control. I wish I could tell you guys, like, go into detail more, but space but yeah, overall the trip was fun. I just wish I had someone I know to go with. And next time I'm going back to Mozambique, especially for the seafood. The seafood is amazing. You guys, I'm not a fan of seafood, but that the food there is really nice and it's fresh from the sea. So yeah, those are my highlights: the seafood, meeting new people, and just being out of South Africa for 3-4 days. On our way back, we went through Maputo, which looks a bit to me like Durban. Like, it looks like Durban. There was nothing like, excuse me, different. There was nothing. It looked like Durban, but it was nice to say Udlekon, and I bought a painting from there. I'll show you guys. Yeah, I mean, the trips had its ups and downs. I don't think I'd do a group trip again, especially not alone. Yeah, guys, I hope, to those who are curious, I hope this answers your questions and feeds your curiosity. And also, I know this is a boring video, it's not like a vlog, but if you've watched until this far, thank you for watching. And yeah, I did want to vlog, but the way things were happening, I didn't have capacity to vlog. And yeah, pictures are more interesting, so I'll try and put up as many pictures as possible. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I'm not happy about the situation. I'm not happy. I'm so stressed. But yeah, we'll see. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.